Okay, so welcome to another episode of my declutter series for 2024, starting off the year with a good declutter. As I mentioned in my first video, this is the first time I am doing a full declutter. I've been wanting to do this for a while and wasn't really sure how to set it up, so I'm kind of winging it. But I think I'm doing pretty good, and I did break up the liquid and cream contour and bronzers because I just simply had so many. I decluttered 28, I believe, and kept 15. So I had way too many. I had over 40. My powder bronzers are much more contained, but I still have 17. I have 17, and a lot of the times, just like the highlighters, when I go into a bronzer, a lot of times I will use a bronzer in a palette, especially on vacation. So not as much as the highlighters, but a lot of the bronzers I will do that. So I want to be good with this declutter. I do want to probably at least cut it in half. So I have 17. So I want to get down to it. I want to, eliminate at least 8. But we'll see. Let's see. So this is what I have. This is my entire bronzer collection that is not in a palette. Now this one is a bronzer and a highlighter, but I did include it in here because it just made more sense. But anyway, so here is my powdered bronzer declutter. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the one that I know I'm not going to declutter. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Airbrush bronzer in the shade 2 medium. Now this one is actually fairly new to me. I haven't had it that long. You can kind of see. I have gotten good use out of it, but I haven't had it that long. So it was gifted to me by the brand. It wasn't part of their launch. So I have used it, but I've never really put it in a video. It is really gorgeous. I really, really like it. It's just a really good bronzer. It's very natural. Like this is the 2 medium. It's not too dark. It is like an airbrush bronzer. So I'm absolutely keeping it. I think it's like $75. I don't know what the price is, but it is pricey. It was very glad that it was gifted to me. So I am definitely keeping that one. So keeping in line with Charlotte Tilbury, this is the Filmstar Bronze and Glow. It is the Face Sculpt and Highlight. This is in the shade Fair Medium. This is the one that has the bronzer and the highlight. Now I've had this forever. I got this in a mystery box, I want to say in August of 2020. So I've had this for 3 years. I've gotten good use out of it. It's not my favorite though. I know a lot of people love this. I just thought it was okay. I never really got the payoff from the bronze. I mean, you can kind of see I don't really get the payoff. I think now, I did get it at first, but I think now it is probably expired, and that's probably why. And then the highlight was pretty, but it wasn't. I mean, there's better highlights. The highlight is actually still working pretty well. But the bronzer or it just barely shows up anymore. So this is expired. I am going to declutter it. I did get some good use out of it. I think it is good, but her quality is so much better. Her formulas are better. So I think this is still on sale. They still have this, and they also have it in a mini. But I don't know if I would recommend it because I think she has some better palettes and better products out there. Maybe the mini, but I wouldn't recommend the full size, especially at full price. Okay, moving on, I'm going to talk about this one from LA Girl. This is the LA Girl Matte Bronzer. This is in the shade Back to the Beach. This is like $10. It is $10, and it is made to be, it has been said to be a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury, and that's one of the reasons why I'm doing it now. So if you look at it pretty close, they're very similar. I forgot how much this one is, but I know it's pricey. I want to say it's $75. This one is like 10. So you can't really find it in the drugstore, but you can order it online. It is really gorgeous. Now, the shade is different, at least for the 2. It is not the same shade, but it does feel very, very similar. Very, very similar. It's very buttery. It is a really gorgeous, gorgeous bronzer. However, with that said, I don't reach into it because I always reach into my Charlotte Tilbury. So while I do think this is a great alternative for the Charlotte Tilbury, there's no need for me to keep both, especially that it is as bulky as it is. It is definitely bulky packaging, so it just takes up a lot of space in my drawer. So I am going to declutter this one because it's a really good product. I can gift this to somebody that's going to get use out of it, and but I do highly recommend this one. Okay, next we have this from LYS. This is the No Limits Matte Bronzer. This is in the shade Motivate. This is light. I believe this is the lightest shade. And this is, again, another really good powder bronzer. I really do like it. However, when I go to use LYS, I tend to go for the cream bronzer. I do really like this one, but I tend to go for the cream bronzer. So really pretty color. The matte is, it's a really pretty shade. The Motivate is a really gorgeous shade. I do like the shade of the Charlotte Tilbury more. Charlotte Tilbury's bulky, but this one is just really, really bulky. So I didn't think I was going to, but I think I'm going to declutter this because I do have the cream. And again, when I'm using LYS, I go for the cream bronzer. So I am going to, wow, I'm surprised. I'm going to declutter the matte bronzer from LYS. Okay, next up is this little mini from NARS. This is a NARS Laguna sample or deluxe sample of the Laguna. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous bronzer. I've had a full size in the past and I absolutely loved it, but I think I broke it and I never repurchased. So it is a really gorgeous bronzer. I love it. The problem with this, it's a great little thing to see if you like it, and I do. It reminds me that I do like it. However, I never reach into it because it's just too small. Even when I use a brush, it's just too small to get a brush into it. So I am going to declutter it, even though it takes like up no room. It just doesn't make sense to keep it because I don't use it. So I might change my mind at the end depending on how many I have, but right now I am going to say I'm decluttering it. I might buy a full size or one of those palettes that they have. It is a gorgeous bronzer. I absolutely love it, but I just don't use it because it's just too tiny. Okay, so I'm actually doing much better than I thought I was going to. Let's go to Sigma. So Sigma, this is Sigma bronzers. They came out last year, I believe. This is in the shade, this is their matte bronzer and medium. I did purchase this myself. I do from time to time get Sigma PR, but when these came out, I did not get any PR at that point. But this bronzer is gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. I absolutely love it. It is so buttery. It is so good. I do like, while I love the Charlotte Tilbury, it is too bulky to travel with. This one is a good size. It's a full size, but it's just, I absolutely love it. So you can see it here. Now the Laguna has, you can see the Laguna here. It's got that sheen to it, but I absolutely love this one. So I'm definitely keeping the Sigma. This again is the medium. I think the fair or the light one would be too light for me. I do really like this one and I highly recommend it. I do have a code with Sigma. It's just Shannon. It'll save you 10% off any purchase at Sigma. So, but I do, again, even if you don't use my code, if they have a better sale, I do recommend this one. Okay, next up is this one from Tom Ford. This is the Tom Ford Glow Bronzer in the shade 02 Terra. This is a mini. This mini costs $70. Now, I did not purchase it at $70, especially not a mini. But I think I purchased this one at the cosmetic company store. So I did get it on sale at a discount, and it's really pretty. I never use it. I never use it. I just, I feel like it takes me, it builds up nicely. It's beautiful. It has amazing reviews. I think I'm in the minority of people that just, I don't love it. I don't not like it. I think it's a very good bronzer. I just don't reach for it. And it's gorgeous. It looks gorgeous when it's on me, but I have to build it up. And I just, because of that, I just never reach for it. So surprisingly enough, I am going to declutter this because, again, it's $70 and I can probably give it to somebody that's going to get use out of it rather than sitting in my drawer, when it's worth that much. Okay, moving on, we're gonna get to this one from JOUER. I purchased this one. It was an add-on in a kind of an impulse purchase. It was an add-on in a FabFitFun. I put it in, and to be honest, I think I was meant to take it out, and I didn't. It's really pretty. I just never reach for it. It's one of those things, again, that I just never reach for. It is in the shade light to medium. So the one shade is Sunlight and the other shade is Suntan. I'm not sure which is which. Really pretty, but the light shade it barely shows up on me. This barely shows up on me at all. So I just never reach for it. Again, it's kind of like, it's probably why it was in the FabFitFun add-ons. It's really pretty. I probably need a darker shade. I think the quality's gorgeous, but I'm gonna declutter it because, again, it's taking up space. I never use it. Okay, now we're gonna go to the two Pat McGrath. So I bought two Pat McGrath when these launched. These came out last year. This is the Skin Fetish Divine Bronzer. I have the shade Nude Honey, and this is like the only cool tone or neutral tone bronzer. And then the other one I have is Bronze Dawn. So those are the two shades I have. I knew I was gonna keep at least one of them. Honestly, I thought I used Nude Honey more, but it looks like I used Bronze Dawn more because the emblem is gone. I really like these a lot. So that is Bronze Dawn, and this is Nude Honey. So you can see they're definitely different. This one has like a red tone to it. This one is more cool or neutral. Really, really gorgeous. Kind of compare this one to the Charlotte Tilbury. You can see it's a very similar tone. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous bronzer. They're both matte, really pretty. I like them. And right now I only have two that I'm keeping. So right now I am going to keep both of these. Okay, so I have a clean arm, and next we're gonna look at Buxom. So this is a discontinued one. I think everything else is still available. This one has been discontinued. This is the Hot Escapes powder bronzer in the shade Tahiti. This is the most beautiful bronzer. It was recommended to me by a makeup artist that used to do my makeup when I did pageants. You can kind of see it's got this sheen in it. It is gorgeous. It's also a gorgeous bronzer in the eye. You can use this in the crease, so it makes a really gorgeous transition shade, and it's stunning. The problem is, because it's no longer sold, I just don't reach for it, especially when I'm on camera, because I can't link it, and I can't, if somebody asks me what I'm wearing, I can't recommend it. And then what happens is it just kind of moves to the back of my drawer. So I really love it, but I think I'm gonna declutter it. It's probably expired too, because I've had it since 2020. So it's probably expired, and it's no longer sold. So as much as it pains me to declutter it, I really wish they would bring something like this back. I haven't used Buxom. I don't really have many Buxom products, but it is really a gorgeous, gorgeous bronzer, but sadly it's been discontinued. Okay, and we'll move a little bit everything more toward the center. Let's take a look at this one from M Cosmetics. So I really like this one. I got this when it launched. Really like M Cosmetics. This is the Corselette Sculpting Bronzer or Powder Bronzer in the shade Silhouette. There's only 4 shades. You know, it's an independent brand. Gorgeous. I love their cream bronzer. The problem with this one, it is a gorgeous bronzer. The problem is it's just too dark for me. It doesn't necessarily look too dark here, but it's very pigmented, and when I put it on, you can see it. It's just, I should have gotten the lighter shade, which is Slip. This is Silhouette. Gorgeous, gorgeous bronzer, but because I really can only wear it when I have a tan or a spray tan, you know, I just reach for the other one. So it's like, this one, it runs like $36. So it's a reasonable, it's not cheap, but it's not, you know, $70 like the Tom Ford. But I just don't use it because it's too dark for me. So I should have gotten the Slip. That was my mistake. But it's a really great bronzer. I'm just going to declutter this one because the shade is too dark for me. Okay, so I just looked at my pile for declutter, and I'm already at 8. So I'm very happy. So these next couple are going to be, some of them are going to be hard. Let's look at the 2 from Give Beauty. I really like these. Now, these also have a cream. So I'm definitely keeping this one. This is Toastin'. This is the second shade. And then this is Heatin' Up. This one is the lighter one. let's look at the creams first. So I already did creams, but I included this one in this video because I wanted to, when I just had less powder, so I wanted to include it. So this is the Toastin. This is the Toastin, and this is the Heatin' Up, so that's the lighter one. So for the bronzers or the cream products, it's really great. I mean, really beautiful. They're both great. The problem is the powders. The powders, the Heatin' Up is very, very pale. However, when I wear it, it actually shows up pretty nicely. Especially if I'm pale at the time, if I don't have a spray tan. So it's a really pretty bronzer. And then this is the Heat Me Up? It's the second one. Really great. So I was planning on keeping one, but I really like both. And it's a really great product. It's such a unique product, really great for travel because you've got a cream and a powder. I'm gonna keep both. I'm doing really good as far as decluttering. I've already decluttered 8, so I think I would regret it if I decluttered this one. Originally, I thought I was going to get rid of this one when I first did my initial video, but I have gotten some really good use out of it. I really like the cream as well. I like the combo, so yeah, I'm keeping it. Okay, the next 3 are drugstore. So we'll start with the Rimmel. Now this bronzer is like $4. Mine shattered a little bit. It's a really good drugstore bronzer. It's the Rimmel London Natural Bronzer. It's waterproof. This is in the shade Sun Bronze 022 Sun Bronze. Really gorgeous bronzer for $4. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. It's a really good bronzer. I purchased it to make a video on, you know, doing my makeup at Disney with drugstore makeup, and I just never did. I'm going to declutter it because I just don't use it, and I have someone I can give it to, but it's a really good bronzer. I've used it a couple times. It's really good. It is, I really like Rimmel London. It's a really good brand, especially affordable. I think it's like $4 to $6, but I've seen it at Walmart for like $4. I want to say I bought it for like $3 or $4 at Walgreens. So can't go wrong with that price. It's a really pretty bronzer at a great price. Okay, and now we're down to 2, and again, both of these are a drugstore. So we're gonna start with the Physicians Formula. This is the Butter Bronzer. This is in the shade Sun Kissed Bronzer. I guess, yeah, I guess it is Sun Kissed Bronzer. I'm not sure of the shade, but really great. I mean, I love these. They smell amazing. It does come with a little brush. I've never even used that. I like it. It's a really good bronzer. But it does kind of feel like butter. But again, I just don't end up reaching for it. It's not because it's not good. It's just because I have other ones that I tend to like more. I think it's great though. It's a beautiful bronzer. But I don't use a lot of drugstore products. I think it's beautiful. I also have a palette of Physicians Formula that has this butter bronzer. I don't know if it's the exact shade, but it has a butter bronzer in it. So if I wanted to use a butter bronzer from Physicians Formula, I could use that. So I am going to declutter this and get this to somebody that will use it. And finally, here we have the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Bronzer. This came out, I want to say either last year or maybe the year before. It is the Soft Matte Bronzer. This is in the shade 300 Light Medium. This bronzer is probably the best, one of the best, you know, affordable drugstore bronzers. It is really good. I will say I have not used it that much. I bought it. Everybody was raving about it. It's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. I actually thought I was going to declutter it just because I don't reach for it because I have so many, you know, higher end products, but feeling it and it's just so creamy. I think it is that this and the LA Girl bronzer are probably the 2 best. The Rimmel's also very good, so is the Physicians Formula, but I think this one is the best of the drugstore. So I think I'm going to keep it for now. I think I'm going to keep it for now because I don't have any other drugstore powder bronzers, at least in singles. So yeah, and I did really good on the declutter, so I'm going to keep that one. Okay, so here is my declutter pile and here is my keep pile. I am very pleased. So I am decluttering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then keeping 7. So really pleased. I wanted to cut this in half. I probably could get rid of this one. I was actually thinking I was going to get rid of this one. But since I got rid of so many others, I don't have any other drugstore in a single, and it's really a good bronzer. So I'm going to keep it for now. And these are all ones that I use continually. I think they're great. I definitely need to use the Sigma more often. And the Give, I was planning on only keeping one of the shades, but again, I'm decluttering so many, and I do get use out of both of them, especially the cream in the light one. So very pleased with this. So this was my episode 3 for my powder bronzers. And not sure what's going to be next. We'll see what's going to be next. But with that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye, everyone.